When a person does a mitzvah, what happens is, says the Kav Yashar, based on the Zohar, that this mitzvah, later it's going to explain, it turns into an angel, and the angel goes up, but this mitzvah, this positive commandment, goes up to God. It stands before God and says, this person, meaning you made me. And if it was a mitzvah, so God goes and says, okay, I want you to stand right over here, right next to me. And because of the mitzvah that you did, now I'm going to give goodness and kindness and amazing things and blessings upon the person because of this mitzvah. Meaning that it's not physical, it's a spiritual creation that is real, live, and it's standing in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. On the flip side, if someone does a transgression, if someone is over an Aveira, this Aveira goes up to heaven, goes up in front of God and says, this person made me. And again, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says he puts him right next to this, right to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that, it says the Kav Yashar, could remove a person from this world. Unless obviously a person repents and things like that, but this has the ability to damage a person. So, to simplify it, you do something in this world, there is something that is created. That created being goes into the next world, and now, if it was a positive commandment, that would have the ability to give you blessings in this world. If it's a negative commandment, that has the ability to go and give you harm in this world. So, says the Kav Yashar, sometimes a person is sitting at home, and they're happy, they're relaxed, it's peace and tranquility, they're secure, they're happy, they're in a good mood, and they're totally unaware that a Aveira that they did like 3 months ago and they never did tshuva for it, is coming and giving bitter judgment, and because of that they're getting a harsh decree, because of that. And this is like something like that's so important, that everything that we do, you have to think about it like creates an imprint, creates something, and it has power. That thing has power, and it goes on to the next world. You ever woke up in the morning and let's simplify it, right? So you ever woke up in the morning and you're just feeling good? No reason. Like, you can't be like, oh, I slept more, I exercised the night before. Like you've done, like, sometimes you wake up and you're like, you're in a good mood. You're like, this is going to be a good day. Yeah, this is going to be good. And sometimes you wake up and you're like, oh no, like this is not a good feeling. Now, how do you explain that? How do you explain that? Now, sometimes you could say, okay, fine, if you didn't sleep and this, and then there's sometimes it's very easy to explain, but many times it's very hard to pinpoint. Many times it's hard. You're like, like my emotions are all out of whack. I don't know why, where, when, and how I got here, but I'm here, and it's just like you don't know. And then the flip side, you're like, things are going like whatever, and you're like you're like in a great mood. You're like, oh, this is, how do you explain these things? Now, again, there's a lot of variables that are in this equation. There's a lot of potential answers and possibilities that could be to this. But one thing we tend not to think about, that if we did something good, it doesn't have to be the day before. It could be a few weeks before. That has effect on us, has effect on our mood, has effect on our ability. You have a good Shabbos, you have a good, you learned, and you davened, and you did, and you grew, and you connected, and you had a good davening, you had a good prayer. You go, that has an effect. It might not have effect that night, the next day, but it could have effect, the next week. You could have a good davening last Wednesday, and now this Wednesday you woke up in a great mood. And you're like, I can't remember, because we tend to not realize that our physical actions, our physical effect, has an effect on our spirituality, and in turn it loops around and it affects us in a physical, in a physical feeling.